Oh, that's much better, actually. I mean, sorta. It's not terrible, but... What we got here? We got a camera. I guess you just look at everything, huh? Yeah, I 100% don't know Chinese, so that's gonna be hard to play this game, probably. Oh, it's blank. Is that their money? Is that the old money? I mean, this was used to wash clothes with. That's a toilet. Oh! I forgot that's how they use the bathroom. Their toilets are different in Japan than they are in the West. They have, like, the squat toilets in some of their areas. Honestly, don't know what I just said. Like I said, I don't know Chinese. I thought this was going to be in English because the demo was, to a certain extent. I mean, like, there was Chinese characters, but it was generally in English for the most part. So, that's what I expected. I mean, I paid... This game was $25. Alright, so... I mean, I looked over a lot of the stuff here already, so... Did I look at that? Man, memories, right? Even everybody has memories. The turn of the millennium, I guess. It's the dawning of a new millennium. I don't know. I have a lot of good memories from when I was younger, and playing some of these backrooms games kind of makes me look at and be like, yeah, that gives you that nostalgia feel, even though it technically isn't the same as, like, it's not the same area. Obviously, you may have not even been to it, but at the same time, you really do get a sense of, like, nostalgia, and it really does bring you back to some memories. Oh, it was snowing when I played this game originally. Enter shift. What's that? It's a little sun guy. Sometimes I look back and I do kind of wish there were things I could do different in the past. But also sometimes I wish there were things that I could relive again. Certain memories, because there was lots of fun times. Things were different back then. At least, I don't know, it's like, I'm in that mentality right now where it's like you realize that That the world, to us, the common people, the people that weren't in the know, the non-rich, the non-celebrities, the non-politicians, world leaders, government officials, royalty, that our world was different in the past because we didn't know what was going on behind closed doors. We didn't know what these people were doing. We didn't know any of that stuff. So for us, and yes, things were cheaper, and that's probably that's how it was probably planned out. But generally, the cases of everything was different back then. And but now, because of the internet and because of what's happening, everybody kind of knows everything, and that whole innocent phase of just being able to live your life and being able to have fun and do things is pretty much gone now. Because it's just kind of hard to enjoy. That's a squirt gun? That's interesting. It's kind of hard to enjoy things it's kind of hard to enjoy things without realizing, did this company do this? Did they do this? Did this person act like this? Are they corrupt? Are they evil? Are they a bad person sort of deal? And on one hand, I guess it is kind of hard when you look at it that way, because there's a lot of that mentality going on with a lot of people. Is that it? But on one hand, I think that's where, and this is in my personal belief, and I believe that this is the truth, but I think where it comes down to is that's why a lot of people feel the way they do, because there's no there's no faith. A lot of people have stepped away from faith. A lot of people have stepped away from the sort of a sense of a greater purpose to life, because people have latched on to not a lot, but a good chunk of society has latched on to the sort of like thing of where nothing happens after you die. There's nothing there. We're all created here. We came out of nothing, and nothing will happen, and everything will. It's basically giving that sense of pointlessness. And then when you look at what's happening with everything and how people are being treated and how corrupt and evil some of the elites and rich and powerful are, a lot of people just write it off as there's nothing we can do. There's no point in living. If this is what's going to happen, we might as well just die, since there's nothing after that. And it's so like, it's very, I get where that comes from, where the suicide comes from. Now this is, I probably should cut that out because that is going to make things, but that's going to make things, that's how people feel because of that. There's no faith. Now, people have faith in different things. I mean, there is faith, but I mean, like, there's no faith in something that actually can return it to you, return some sort of peace, and just sort of, there's nothing like that. A lot of the faith that people put their faith into, they put their faith in politics, they put their faith in man, they put their faith in their identity, they put their faith in technology, they put their faith in their friends, in their family, in their job, in their pets, in their they put their faith in false gods. They just put it in things and that really can't return anything to them, and it's just gonna be empty, and that's why they feel like that. Faith is a natural being of the human mind. The human soul craves faith. There is no way to live without it. The people that say they don't have faith in anything, well, I wouldn't say that that's not the case. Some might. Ooh, let me see. Woo. Some might, because not because like they never did have faith, but mainly because they just now there's no, it's gone, or it's dead because of what's happening in the world. And with that being the case, people tend to just give up. But coming from a Christian standpoint, I realize more than ever now with how things are. We had so much like innocence in the past where we really didn't know what was going on. We saw certain things here and there, but it wasn't like to the extent where it is today, where you can see just pure evil in daylight and how it's entrenched in everything, and it does make things very. It makes things difficult. It makes it hard to want to continue, because when you have this sort of like situation where everything seems hopeless, and there's so many things about the world that are evil. It does make a lot of people want to give up, and I get that. And I think that, like I said, is where faith really does come in play, to when it really comes in play when it comes to your mentality and how you can handle and what's going on. And like I said, it doesn't change anything. Faith, while yes, makes things better, it does not change what is happening in the world. In terms of like, just because you have faith in God or wherever religion you are a part, but mostly for me, because can I turn that off? Thank you. If you have faith in God, and for me at least, when that comes, because that's what I believe in. If you have faith in that, in Him, there is a sense of, that's interesting. There's a sense of peace. It doesn't change what happens in the world. The evil people are still there. The evil companies are still there. Evil things still happen. Bad things still happen. Bad people are still around. Atrocities still happen. People still die. People still get sick. People still get injured. People still get hurt. People still can feel broken. But, and also, like I said, in the case of the world, it's still going to do its thing. It's still going to be the way it is. But it's that sense of, even though this is the case, you have someone that knows everything, that's been here, experienced it all, and has beaten it, not just on the physical plane, but on a spiritual plane. Someone who understands you on the deepest level more than even yourself. And while some people can argue and shake that off and say that's just hogwash, it's fake, it's not real. And I mean, I get some people just can't see it. But what I'm trying to say is that there's a sense of someone is there watching you. In a good way. That someone is there watching over you, protecting you, caring for you, and loves you on the most deepest level that you could ever understand. And it can really change your perspective on, despite the fact of how bad the world can be, that they are there for you no matter what. And even if the worst happens, that you will, the reason there's peace for people that are truly connected with God, I would say, is because they know where they're going. They have a sense of, well, sure, my life may end, but I will, I'm going to be in a better place. I'm not going to be in this world anymore. I don't have to put up with the world, and I'm going to be in paradise. And I'm going to be with the one that loved me, the one that cares for me, the one that looked after me the entire time through the good and bad. And not only am I going to be able to experience him on in just the worldly plane, like in the now here, I'm going to be able to experience him first hand, like close up, personally, right, like on a physical, spiritual, emotional, mental existence for eternity. And when you have that peace, even if it's temporary on the earth, when you have that peace with him on the earth, it's like having you don't want that to be temporary. You don't want it to be just on earth. And that's exactly what it is. When you die, when you pass on, you get to take that, you lose everything. You don't have your clothes, you don't have your belongings, your money, your job, your pets, your toys, your games, your TV shows, your favorite collections, your house, your cars, your friends sometimes. You don't have any of the things that you had on the earth that all gave you temporary happiness. But you have the one thing that gave you permanent happiness, despite everything that happened to you. Despite that everything that was going on. People dying, people getting sick, you getting injured, maybe you being in a situation where you will be dying. Losing things, being hurt, being attacked, physically, emotionally, mentally, abused. Anything that you could think of that was negative. That despite all that, you're able to find joy in life and still be happy, because you know that the one that matters the most, the one that really is in control of everything, the one that created everything and made everything, he doesn't want to do any of that to you. He cares for you and does, and it's a blissful feeling. and I'll be honest, I have experienced that myself a few times. And why I ever decided to leave that is beyond me. But it's the human reasoning, it's the human nature to sin, it's human nature to abandon it because of the world and wanting to fit in or wanting to do things or wanting to have fun, because you feel like you're not being able to have fun. It's not the case. Like I said, there are people that find their faith in many other things. And like I said, I'm not going to say that people can't find their own sort of joy, but I guess I urge people in today's society. And this is weird, because this is a liminal space game, and here I am getting philosophical about everything. But I think this is important, now that I've touched on the topic, because it is about memories. It is about really looking back and thinking, I wish I could go back, I wish I could relive this. But the thing is that, sure, you could have that momentary peace and joy doing so, but would it really get you anywhere? You'll just be going backwards, living in the past, instead of going forward. But being what I'm saying is that I think it's important for everybody to have faith, regardless if they believe that there is something there, if they believe it or not. But I do think that faith is important, and it should never be abandoned. For me personally, I think if you get rid of faith, I got some money. You get rid of the identity of the human being, and that's why it slowly dies. And that's why people lose faith, lose hope, and they end up dying. They take their life because there's no faith to back up, to really hold on to, latch on to. And I think faith, while people can, like I said, can have it in other things, I believe that the true faith, the true joy, can only be found within the God of the Bible.